surf effects, and we're having a look at our wingboard range. We got a lot of stuff right now, so it's pretty good to have a look. It's going to run you through, we're going to just look at some features and stuff as if you came in the store. I'll point out, well, what's here, what's there. So we got some stuff here. I've got the Armstrong board here. These boards, pretty impeccable construction. They are a full carbon board, this with the scoop deck. Now again, if you want to see a more detailed video of all these boards, we have them. You can see them on our YouTube channel here. But we just have a little look over, a little overview. So if you're running Armstrong foils, you want a board that has foil boxes quite far forward. Now we do two that work well with that. Obviously the Armstrong, and then there's another one coming up, I'll show you, it's going to be the JPs. These guys have got a pretty decent setup. Neat is the handle right through the guts of it. So you got a handle through the middle, which some of the brands are taking out to save weight. They're taking out the handle from the top and just keeping one on the bottom. These guys, full carbon, it's nice and light, left it in. Even little details like, you know, titanium hardware that holds in the tail kick that's mounted on a piece of carbon. Like it's adjustable, so you can adjust that for where you want your positioning of your foil, so you can quick reference while you're riding, you put your foot against it, you're on the back. Pretty cool setup. And these come with bags, so they're a little bit more expensive, but they come with a really nice bag, which would normally be a couple $100 anyway. So the premium product from Armstrong. Now, we'll have a look here at the North boards. So the North Seek, it's a board, you see here, it's a little bit flatter nose rocker through it. And the bottom contour has a bit of a chamfered edge with some double concaves through the snout of it. So right through the nose, that helps when you're porpoising and touching down, but that helps a lot when you're downwind foiling. So a lot of guys are getting this, they do a couple bigger sizes like a 6'4" and stuff. You can get those boards as a really nice downwind subfoil board, and a lot of guys are switching over to the North board for the downwind subfoiling. Smaller boards, of course, you know, great for winging, and they've got that real nice sharp edge off of that chamfer. It helps it release so it comes off the water. Foot strap inserts have always been good with North, being a kiteboard brand. They know what they're doing with foot straps, and you have a ridge through the whole center deck to kind of help you locate your foot and keep it under the arch. Now, have a look at the starboards. Now, we got two constructions in this board. They actually make three, but one of them is a little, well, we're sold out, so I can't show you. It's a car called the Carbon Pro. This is the full carbon. Again, you're dealing with a brand that's got background in windsurfing with some kiteboarding with their Airbrush brand. Lots of foot strap options, slightly concave deck. Bigger sizes, again, really nice for sup foiling and sup downwinding. So they do track quite stable. Bottom shape, they've got a very crisp edge to release all the way, it comes all the way up to here. Only the bottom handle, and you're very straight off the back to get it released. These guys do the Olympic class windsurf foil program. They know how to make a bottom that release as well. So you got two constructions in that. You got carbon here, and you got the Light Tech. Light Tech, quite a bit cheaper. It's it's the same board, same shape, just a little bit heavier, plain white graphic, $1,500, so very good price, and that's a 1,500 Australian. So really well priced board. So we sell a lot of these, particularly to anyone getting into it. Just as a beginner, it's just, you know, it's well priced. I mean, I've got one of these myself. I got a 5.7 in the starboard. It's a nice board. Okay, quick little swap around. We get another three up here. Have a look at these. Sonova, renowned for tough construction. All right, this is the TR3, which is a Polonium laminated board. So it's got a really good impact resistance because it's got a sheet of timber on the top and bottom. You can see here, the deck is crazy amount of inserts for foot straps because there's so many kind of facets to this sport that you can do. They really keep the options open. Lots of range to put foot straps in. Now we'll have a look at the JP. The JP, this is the X-Winger, a new size, and this is their Pro Edition in a 5.7. So JP, windsurfing brand, have put a lot of the quick release of a windsurf board in the design of these. Lots of windsurf, foot strap options because of the windsurf background. You got 3 rows of foot strap options in the back, so you can run them on a straight angle. You can run them a little bit wider if you wanted, and then in the front you got the same thing. You've got 2 kind of widths that you could put them on angles, which is pretty cool. Bottom wise with these guys, you've got a very, you can see on the colorway there, shows it real well. That's a sharp edge the whole way around, and really flat and sharp through the tail. Get that release, get the board up in the air, and so it doesn't stick. This is the other board that's got really long tracks that you can comfortably run an Armstrong foil on. So if you want to have massive range, this is the board for it. You can see how long these tracks are. You know, that's my hand, and see what you got to deal with there. So you got a lot of range to adjust your foil on these. Now, our number one selling board is the Phonetic. So these guys have a very kind of slalom windsurf shape to it. I mean, that might not sound impressive, but slalom windsurf boards are super fast, get up and plane very early, and that's what you want it to do. You want the board to release as quick as possible. I mean, I've talked about it a lot in this video. It's all about getting the board to release, because as soon as it releases, it's efficient, the foil's on, everything's nice and quiet, and you're gliding along on the foil. So this kind of bottom shape, very flat with a slight little V through it here, and that real sharp rail all the way to the back. There's no little step, there's no little ledge. The tail of the board is just that edge, that back edge. Lets the water let go, board comes up, and you're winging. That's what you want to be doing. These guys have a lot of foot strap options. These are also the only boards that we have that come with foot straps. So pretty cool when you get a board that's got foot straps, because even though a beginner might not want them, you might want them later. To have them already there, that makes it real easy. These are one of the lightest boards in the market, which is pretty cool. The grip is a nice kind of corduroy grip, so it's not real super rough on you, but it's got great amount of traction, and it's got a slight concave through the deck, so it's got that real kind of almost positive skateboard feel. Really nice connection to the board, and then of course therefore the foil underneath. Little kick on the back, and pretty cool. You see people go, oh, why is the tail pad a little bit narrow? It's like, well, if you want to lie down and prone paddle it, it's actually so your legs can kind of go either side of the pad and not have to, you know, and still keep them up out of the water from dragging off the sides. So this board is probably one of the ones that you really almost don't need to go to the carbon version, because it is so light to begin with. And the carbon is only about 400 grams lighter, so not a massive weight savings, but it is light to begin with. So it's not like the Starboard and the Light Tech and the carbon. There's a considerable difference there. These, you really get good value for money with that lighter construction. So we're starting to see the nose of a lot of these boards follow this and have a quite, you can see from the perfect angle there, you can see it's quite flat this way, but underneath you've got quite a bit of nose rocker, and that just helps the board. And that kind of curve of the nose comes to about here. So you really got this kind of wedge pulling the board up and out of the water. So any kind of forward movement really helps lift the board up and out. Again, all about getting it to release as soon as possible.
And also the nose width, it's not like a big plow, it actually makes, it cuts the water to either side as it comes up.
It does. You can see how narrow that is through the very front of it, but it doesn't go narrow the whole way. Once you get to here, it's kind of the same, that's your wide point where you're standing predominantly. You get that narrowness of the tip just to keep it from catching. So once the initial part is out of the water, then you let the rest of the board start doing the work to lift it out.
Helps in touchdowns, you find?
Does help in touchdowns too.
Because that's why it bounces back up.
Yeah. And the front of it is fairly chamfered as well. It's not like it's sharp all the way.
No,
it's got a big chamfer on the nose.
Chamfer's about there.
Yeah.
2 to 3 knots earlier planing?
Well, maybe not, but a couple
2
usually,
knots?
depending on for most guys are finding it.
Yeah.
And they're compact, so guys are going down 6 inches, and they're finding it just as easy to ride. And once it's up, it's easier to ride.